Hey everyone, today I'll be giving suggestions on heroes online and how I would personally change some things. This isn't a hate on the game or anything. These are just some opinions. Most of these are related to balancing the game by either nerfing aka making some characters slightly weaker or by buffing some aka making some stronger. When it comes to nerfing characters' skins, I know people will disagree, but these are just my own opinions. While I talk, you can watch this private server gameplay. With some friends, I ate them up so bad. First, I'll talk about map changes I'd make, like one. Make this fighting center larger, it's too small, and I think it's a reason why people are so nosy. Because everyone is too close. Now I'll talk about buffing some characters. In my opinion, no character's shield health should be less than 450. 450 should be the standard because even 450 shield health is weak. If the character has really bad attacks, they should have at least a good shield. Weak characters are targeted in this game. They can't end anyone with their terrible abilities, and they can't even defend themselves because their shield gets broken after 3 bolts. So weak characters who can't combo anyone should have great health and great shield health. Talking about shields, some characters' shields are kinda too strong, like no one's gonna bother trying to break an 11 or DPA shield. But anyways, back to weak characters. I get that some are really cheap and there are codes anyways. But I don't know, I feel like everyone should be decent. But I'm not going to get into details on how every weak characters should be buffed. Some of them just need a health and shield buff like Zuko and Supers. Others like base Loki, well, he needs everything buffed. Wanda variant isn't actually garbage, her ability set is okay. She just needs an attack damage buff and health to like 450. I don't think weak characters need to be super strong. They just need to be decent enough for starter players. Like Polaris and Thor are perfect for starter characters, but others like Loki and Human Torch are awful. But enough about the really weak characters. Now I'll talk about some characters' skins that are already good, but should be buffed a bit. Starlight needs a small buff on either one of the following: health, cooldowns, or damage. Her R and X do the same damage as base Agatha. She is good, but a small buff in one of those areas would be great. Dr. Fate should be godded while using some of his abilities, like his R and F. He is targeted a lot and he gets attacked while using abilities because his animations are long. If he won't be temporarily godded while using those abilities, then make them a lot faster. An example of a godded ability is Nikki's R singing and Magneto's trade. While they are using it, they can't take damage. Some other abilities that should be like that are Raven's Trig and Crush, Magic's Alt, and FF Sue's Heart Crush and Bone Crunch. Speaking of FF Sue, she should have a toggle option to use bolts while invisible, and buff her Bone Crunch or Bubble Slam damage. Now let's talk about slots. In my opinion, some characters do not need to be one slot, such as Goddess Storm, Magic Devil Era Sylvie, and Snowstorm. And in my opinion, Adam Eve should be one slot. She is one of most annoying people in game, and there's already so many bubbles going on. Lauren's skins are really annoying because of their bubbles. I also think certain abilities should work in their bubbles, like abilities that damage areas, such as Clarion's F and Confractus. He should be able to use those inside when he is trapped. I also think Gwen's and Sunny should share slots. Now I'll talk about nerfing characters A, K, A making some weaker. This is where people will be disagreeing depending on if you have them, but again, these are just my thoughts. Let's start with small nerfs. Wednesday's R and X should cancel when she is attacked. Like, you can't even get near her if she's holding that ability. And it has a large or infinite range, plus it does a lot of damage. So I think making those abilities cancel if she's attacked isn't asking for a whole lot. Next, I don't know what is up with 11's ult, Sabrina's ult, and Mom Wanda's head snap, but it's like the ability works early. Even if you outspam with an ability like your shield or Clarion X, their ability will still work even if you are shielded or are using an ability. Here's an example. I'm sure I'm not the only one that has noticed that. Most times you can only outspam an 11 with an ability that works right away, and on another player like Clarion's R. However, 11's ult works from a further distance and she can be out of range. Basically, just make it so you can outspam them with abilities like shielding and abilities like Clarion's X, Star Sapphire X, etc. Sabrina and Mom Wanda should have a nerf for their flight bolts. There's no reason why they need to be so op. All you see Sabrina's do is stay in their flight and bolt everyone in the map from afar. There are a lot of no-skill abilities, and these flight bolts are at the top of the list. It was bad enough when it was just Mom Wanda, but now it's two different characters. It's like a 90% insta-2. Probably the worst ability in Heroes. Also, I don't see the point in making base characters so strong. Like Sabrina, before y'all complained, was fine, and she would have gotten a stronger skin, John. But now his only buff will be shield health cause Sabrina is too strong. Zatanna is a good example of an alright base character, where she's not the strongest but still good and can be multiple slots with strong skins. Then there are other new characters who are one slot because they are too op. Poison Ivy is an upcoming character, and in my opinion, I hope she is not so op so she can be multiple slots. She is having a fairy skin probably coming out not much later, and she can be buffed to be one slot. I don't know why you guys want every new character to be the strongest, most annoying one. Another thing is, I hope upcoming characters do not have attacks. With such large range, I feel like every new character has an ability like that. Abilities like Wednesday's Mom Wanda's, but also ones that affect large areas like Salak's Outburst. Anyways, that's all the suggestions I have for now. I mean, I would change a lot more than that, but these are, I think, my more reasonable opinions. That could happen. My other ones would be too big of a change and would only work if the game got a revamp, cause I'd definitely get rid of some characters completely, change prices, etc. But anyway, join my Discord server and bye.